Wade Wilson's story begins like many others. Wade Stephen Wilson, born on May 20, 1994 to teenage parents, was adopted and raised in Tallahassee, Florida. His youth was troubled, marked by minor criminal activities, substance abuse, and multiple head injuries which he cited as contributing to his instability. Wilson's legal troubles began in 2012, with incidents including burglary and assault. He was sentenced to prison for burglary and grand theft in 2013 but was released in 2014. In 2015, he faced serious charges of sexual battery and kidnapping but was acquitted. He returned to prison in 2017 for stealing firearms and was linked to a murder conspiracy case in 2018 where he allegedly attempted to fabricate evidence. On October 8, 2019, police in Florida arrest the 25-year-old. The charges? Burglary, larceny, property damage. He's also accused of battery against his girlfriend. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. This small-town arrest is about to spiral into something much darker, something far more sinister. News starts trickling in about 2 women brutally murdered in Fort Myers and Cape Coral. The media needs a hook, something to grip the public's attention. They find it in the accused killer's name, Wade Wilson. The same name as the darkly comedic anti-hero from Marvel Comics Deadpool. The nickname sticks. The Deadpool Killer becomes a media sensation, a morbid moniker that follows Wade Wilson into the depths of the legal system. But behind the catchy headlines and the comic book comparisons lie 2 horrific crimes. 2 women senselessly killed. Their stories, their lives, become overshadowed by the spectacle of the Deadpool Killer. The media frenzy threatens to drown out the human cost of these tragedies. Was this troubled young man truly capable of such brutality, or was there more to the story? The line between truth and fiction begins to blur, and as investigators dig deeper, they uncover a trail of chilling details that will shock the nation. Christine Melton, a 35-year-old waitress, was a beacon of kindness. She juggled the demands of her job with the unwavering care she provided for her mother, who was battling Alzheimer's. On October 7, 2019, Christine's life was tragically cut short, found strangled in her own home. What kind of monster could take the life of someone so dedicated, so full of life? On October 10, 2019, with Wade Wilson already in custody for unrelated charges, chilling discovery sent shockwaves through the investigation. Another body found. This time it was of Diane Ruiz, a 43-year-old bartender. A dedicated mother of 2, Diane was known for her infectious laugh, her unwavering work ethic, and her ability to light up even the darkest of days. Her body, discovered on October 10th, bore the marks of a brutal attack, beaten, strangled, and run over. The evidence pointed towards Wilson, and the weight of his alleged crimes began to mount. In a shocking turn of events, Wilson confesses to his father. After the murders, Wilson called his biological father, Stephen Testaseca, several times, confessing to and narrating the gruesome details of his crimes. Testaseca, who was at work at the time of the call, said Wilson was a good storyteller, and initially did not believe him. He told Wilson to call back later in the evening. At least 2 other calls followed. It was not until a 10 p.m. call that he began to think what Wilson was saying could be true, he testified. Wilson confessed to choking Melton after she went to sleep, also admitted to stopping Ruiz for directions before she got into the car, and he choked her while he drove. According to his testimony, Wilson told his father that Ruiz was still breathing before he repeatedly ran her over. Testaseca said Wilson did not show remorse. He admitted initially he wanted to help his son, but his perspective changed when Wilson began delving into detailed recounts of the slayings. Testaseca testified that during the latter calls in which Wilson detailed the killings, he put his phone on speaker with Testaseca's wife listening in and relaying the information to law enforcement. Testaseca asked Wilson for his location and told him he would send an Uber to pick him up. But when officers first found Wilson up at an unoccupied residence he'd apparently broken into, the 25-year-old wasn't arrested on suspicion of murder. Rather, Wilson was charged with burglary, larceny, and damaged property. as well as with battery for attacking a woman, identified during his June 2024 murder trial as his then-girlfriend Melissa Montanez, on the morning of Oct 7th. The trial began in June 2024, a media spectacle fueled by the notoriety of the Deadpool Killer moniker. Wilson's face had been heavily tattooed during the time he was in custody. This caused a storm on social media for appearing smug and smirking while on trial. The prosecution meticulously presents its case relying on Wilson's confession, witness testimonies, and forensic evidence. Key witness Stephanie Sailors testified that she was with Melton on the night of October 6, 2019. Sailors, who was Melton's co-worker, stated that they had gone out for drinks at a bar called Buddha Live in Fort Myers. At Buddha Live, the two ladies met 25-year-old Wilson, along with another man who had also met Wilson that night named Jason Shepard. Stephanie informed prosecutors that they all shared drinks together. Sailors told the court that the group stayed till the bar closed. Wilson and the two women then headed to Jason Shepard's home, where they spent several hours partying before departing in the morning. Wilson, Melton, and Sailors then went to Melton's residence in Cape Coral. But in a shocking and sinister turn of events, Wilson brutally strangled Melton to death while she slept, and then stole her car after Sailors had left. It was a short time later, Wilson saw 43-year-old Diane Ruiz walking along a Cape Coral street, asked her for directions to a nearby school, and lured her into the car. When Ruiz tried to exit the car, Wilson attacked her, beating and strangling her before pushing her out of the car and running her over 10 to 20 times. Melissa Montanez, Wilson's ex-girlfriend, testifies to his violent behavior, further solidifying the prosecution's claims. Despite a defense team's efforts to highlight Wilson's mental state, the jury reaches a verdict guilty. On June 12, 2024, Wade Wilson is convicted on all charges, including 2 counts of first-degree murder. The Deadpool Killer is unmasked, his reign of terror brought to an end, but the story doesn't end there. The jury's guilty verdict sent ripples of relief through the community. Justice, it seemed, had been served. Yet the shadow of the Deadpool Killer lingered. The media frenzy surrounding the case had ignited a firestorm of public opinion. While many breathed a sigh of relief, others rallied behind Wilson, questioning the validity of his confession and the fairness of his trial. Online forums buzzed with debates about mental health, the justice system, and the very nature of evil. Fundraisers for Wilson's defense sprang up, fueled by a wave of unexpected support. The man behind the mask, the one-dimensional villain portrayed in headlines, became a figure of complex fascination for some. On June 25, 2024, the jury delivers its recommendation, the death penalty. The courtroom, thick with tension, erupts in a mix of gasps and sobs. Wilson's fate now rests in the hands of Judge Nicholas R. Thompson. During the sentencing phase, the families of Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz deliver heart-wrenching victim impact statements, their words painting a poignant picture of the gaping hole left by the loss of their loved ones. On August 27, 2024, Judge Thompson delivers his sentence, death. Wilson, emotionless, receives 2 death sentences, 1 for each count of first-degree murder. He is transferred to death row at Union Correctional Institution in Rayford, Florida, where he awaits the outcome of the automatic appeal process. The case of the Deadpool Killer continues to spark debate and ignite passions, a stark reminder of the complexities of the justice system and the enduring power of a nickname. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, please consider liking and subscribing for more.